Everyone. Okay, I'm back and I have a couple of questions from one of my um, loyal viewers, Pat. Shout out to Pat. Thank you for asking me these questions. I really appreciate it. I always want to know what you guys have questions on so that I can make videos about this stuff because I've kind of wanted to make videos for a while, um, and I just write all these little notes down about things that I think that would be good comedy topics, but obviously it would be really awesome if you guys can ask me questions as well so that I can know which videos or like what topics to cover with you guys, because yeah, sometimes it's hard to think of content for my videos and people might be like, well, why don't you stop making videos? But I won't, because this is one of the things that I wanted to do. It was on my list of things to do this year. It's nearly the end of the year, so getting this shit done. All right, anyway, okay, so basically Pat's asked me two questions, which are very good questions. The first question was, when do you stop doing a joke? So like, when do you retire a bit of your comedy material? And the second question was, how do you know if a joke isn't funny? Okay, so let's go through the first bit first. When do I stop doing a bit? I think it depends on a couple of things. One, it depends on how many gigs I've had. Like, if I haven't had that many gigs, I guess I will just keep doing it for a little bit to get a feel of the joke. Um, Two, it depends on the reaction of the crowd. I know that I've got some jokes which I just keep doing because the crowd really likes them. And obviously, as a comedian, like, we need that attention and we need that, like, what's that word? Sense of recognition for that really good joke, right? So that makes me really happy. So I do a couple of jokes a lot because of that. And the third one is like, it just depends on what I feel like. Sometimes I get sick of jokes and I don't want to do them anymore. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that joke anymore. I'm kind of sick of it now. But obviously, once you've written like a really good joke, you the tendency is like you want to just keep doing it, right? Because you're getting really good laughs from it. Like, you want everybody to know how brilliant you are as a comedian, and like everybody should hear this joke because it's like such a really good joke, right? So that's fine. I reckon you can keep doing the same joke, um, like as many times as you want to do it in the year that you've written it in. After the year's gone, that's it. You can't do it. I mean, it's not like you can't do it, but you should be doing other material. And for me, like, well, firstly, I kind of started doing comedy. One, because I love comedy and I always used to watch comedy on TV. But then two, as I was growing up, I used to watch the Melbourne Comedy Gala like every year, and I used to love it. It was like one of my favorite things to do. I used to watch it all the time. And then I started seeing comedians on there that would like, they'd be doing the same jokes that they did last year, and I was like, "Good, I can't believe it's got been like a whole year. They couldn't even think of any new jokes. Like, we heard this joke last year, so that's why I started doing comedy. That's why I think you can do it like as many times as you want in a year, and that's it. Like, you can't like consistently do that joke. Um, but what was I going to say? I can't even read my writing. Oh, right, that's right. Because I go to the same places quite a lot. Like, I do a lot of gigs in the inner west. I've been lucky enough to do lots of gigs at the Comedy Store in Sydney, which is really cool. And I do lots of gigs in a place in Manly, which is also really cool. So basically, if I'm going to the same place a lot, then I need to change my set. Like, if you go in the same place a lot, you need to change your set because that's more like the local for people, right? You don't want to go there, do the same jokes, and then the next time people come back, you're doing the exact same set. You want to show that you've got a bit of variety, otherwise they probably won't ask you back again. And also, it's not good. Like, what if people heckle you because they think that you've only got one set when you've actually got lots, but you just haven't used it? So I think that is a factor as well. So if you're going to the same place, then you should try to change your set frequently. And yeah, as I said before, like, it's not like you can never do that joke again, but I just think if you have written a really good joke, that's fine. Like, give it a good run. Do it like 20, 30 times, and then just retire it for a while. It's not like you can never do it again. See, I put all my jokes in this little joke book. I've got like heaps of notebooks, but I've got all my comedy ideas. Even if it's not a good joke in the end, like, I still write down all the ideas that I've had. And sometimes, like, I go through the books that I've had in previous years and I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a good concept. Like, let me see if I can try to make that work into a joke. Because sometimes it just needs a bit of time, to really ferment and, like, marinate. Marinate is probably a better word. Anyway, to think about like what you're gonna do with it, and then it comes to you later. So always write down all your ideas. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't mean you have to make jokes about it right now. Just write it down. You've got it there, and then like in the future, you can go back to your notes and think about it and think like, oh yeah, I've got more experience now. I wonder if I can make this into a joke with the stuff that I've got now. So yeah, so do your joke as much as you can in the beginning. Once you know that it's really good and you've done it like, you've gotten a good run out of it like 20, 30 times, everyone really likes it. You'll probably start getting bored of it as well. Like, I get bored of my jokes and I'm like, that's it. not doing it anymore, even if the audience really likes it. It's not always about them, you know? Like sometimes you got to do jokes for yourself. I've got jokes in there that I think are really funny that the audience probably doesn't like, but I don't care because it's not about the audience, it's about what I want. So that's when you know that you don't care anymore as a comedian and you're just like, I don't care anymore. I don't want to please the audience. I just want to do the jokes that I like. So there you go. Okay, so the next topic was how do you know if a joke is funny or not? So I've written down my 3 steps of quality control that I do with my jokes, and I'll share it with you now. So the first step is that I think of the joke. And then the second thing I do is I try it out on a couple of people. So I try it out on some of my friends or my colleagues. And it's very important when you're trying out your joke with your friends or like small circles of people. Firstly, you want to see if they're laughing or not, right? Because that's a good gauge. Like, do I want to share this with broader people? Are my friends going to laugh? If my friends even going to laugh, then I'm not gonna go and tell it to other people because it's probably not going to be very funny, right? So the first thing is like, are your friends laughing? But then the second thing you got to think about is like, are they laughing because they're my friends? Or are they laughing because it's funny? So you got to break it down. Like if they're just laughing because they know you, as I said in my previous video about how like you have little in jokes with your friends that they think are really funny, but the general population will not find funny. Like you got to think about if that's the case or if it's actually like genuinely funny. So maybe try it out on a couple of different people, from work or maybe from school or I don't know, like your uni friends or whatever, 3 different groups so that it's not you're not comparing the joke with the same kind of type of person, so that you get an idea of if it's a funny joke or not, right? So second thing you do is you try it out on your friends, see if they're gonna laugh or not, right? And then the third thing you do is you try it out on a crowd, but don't start with a new joke. Always start with a joke that you've done, which is good. So you want the audience on your side. Like if you're going on cold and then you just start this new joke and it's not very good, then they haven't warmed up yet. Like you're not giving the joke a fair chance. You got to make sure that the audience is like receptive first, and then you hit them with a new joke. And then if they still don't laugh, then you might need to think about tweaking the joke, right? So you go on stage, you tell your joke, you tell a good joke, like an established joke, and then maybe like get them in the mood, and then you hit them with a new joke, and then you see like how it goes. Like is the audience laughing a lot, or is it not laugh? Are they not laughing very much? And why? Maybe when you're telling the joke halfway through it, you're like, shit, I could really like tighten this up a bit. Maybe it's not written as well as I thought it would be, and it's taking me too long to get to the punchline, and that's why they're not laughing. So sometimes, when you're on stage and you're trying a new joke, it's a good like way of getting instant feedback. So the joke might be too long, in the wording, and people don't really get it, or maybe the premise isn't funny, or maybe you need to explain things better. So these are good things that you can get feedback from. So once you've told the joke, then you can like tweak the joke as necessary for the next time you tell it. So tell your joke, get the feedback, tweak it as necessary, go back, tell it again, maybe do it 3 times, and don't do it in the same place if possible. Like try to do it in a couple of different locations, because maybe like if you're telling the joke at the same pub every week and it's not doing very well, like maybe the people there, they just don't get that joke. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good joke. That just means that that's not the audience for that joke. So try it out in a couple of different places and get the feedback from that. If nobody laughs at any of the places that you tried at, then you need to take it back to the drawing board and try it again. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So that's my tips on like how to like rewrite a joke, how to test a joke, and also when to retire a bit from your comedy set. Thanks.